I promise to listen, if that is what you wish, but I'm afraid that I stand resolute in my opinion of the man. But if you'll make good on your promise to never speak of it after this day, I will hear you out." Ginny folded her hands in her lap and waited for Gretchen to begin. "That is far more generous than I can even ask. Well, then, there is no other way to say it other than to just start at the beginning. Diana was a servant in Brennan Castle when she and Torn were promised to one another. As you may have heard, she worked in the laundry, and Torn worked in the master's own gardens. When they met and fell in love, their chiefs, that's the ones as they answer to, took their petition to Lord Brennan and spoke on their behalf. The master had even stated his approval over it, which for most servants is as good as married. When Torn returned, not only had Diana been unfaithful in his absence, she rebuffed him when he told her he could overlook that. He was faithful to her to a fault, and was even willing to forget that she had been untrue. To make matters worse, Gretchen lowered her voice and looked around to see that they couldn't be overheard. He had never lain with her. He said he would not disrespect her in any such way, especially as she was promised to be his wife. To return home and find that she'd given away the gift, so to speak, hurt him terribly. And when he even said he would put that out of his mind and love her still, refusing to hold that against her and taking the blame on himself for leaving her all alone as he did, it was still not good enough for that woman. She laughed at him, Miss Adair, and told him she was in love with someone else. You can imagine how his spirit must have suffered. He joined his brother in America to put all that behind him. And then, at our insistence, he began to write you. He waited for you, all through the long winter, pining away like a dog who lost his master. He was so afeard that you decided to forget about him. Then, when the day finally came that you two would be united at long last, Diana showed up and threw herself at him. He had no knowledge that she was even intent on coming to America, let alone to Montana. The last he'd even heard her name spoken was to hear that she was marrying another member of the household. I would so love to believe you, Mrs. O'Connor, but how in the world did she find him if not for his corresponding with her all this time? America is a vast country. I don't have to tell you that. Anyone who did not want to be found simply wouldn't. But surely you know already that Lord Brennan has visited New Hope. Mrs. McAteer is his sister, and by rights still part heir in marriage to all the Brennan estates. Lord Brennan even owns share in some property here, and has appointed Moira's husband as the caretaker. He has come here on more than one occasion to see his sister and her children, and to ride with Mr. McAteer to inspect his holdings. It would be no effort at all to find out where this town is, especially as many in Brennan know that Kieran has been the sheriff all this time and is now mayor. That's quite a special tale to tell about America, and the hope it offers, as not many servants in Ireland could aspire to such a thing.